Good evening to one and all. Welcome to Buddha IAS and welcome to IAS 2023 batch. One important concept that is with respect to corporate governance. So to begin with, we have to understand first, what is this corporate? Afterwards, the things like how corporate works. We'll look into those things and we'll see like what are the things which make corporate governance bad. In this regard, we'll discuss about corporate citizenship and also corporate social responsibility. Having said that, let's proceed. Okay, corporate governance. Then what is corporate? Anyone here? What is corporate? Do you have any idea? What is corporate? Why we need a corporate? We often hear that people are working in corporate, private, business entity. Great. That like, but it is very vague, very vague. Then it would have been like private governance. Why corporate governance? That too, why they have put this chapter in ethics in public administration? Otherwise, they would have put this in the first chapter itself, where we discuss like ethics in private and public organization. What is the difference? Dear students, one important thing which you have to internalize is corporate is a legal entity. Corporate is a legal entity. So what does this mean? This concept can be understood better with respect to the concept of citizen. Who are citizens? Please message me, who are citizens? What differentiates an individual or what makes an individual to call that he is a citizen? Who is a citizen? Okay, citizen is one who has got some responsibility and also rights. Is one who is having rights. At the same time, he has got some duty to perform. That is maybe responsibility. Rights, you are aware of. Duties. What is the duty? His duty is to follow the law of the land. Main thing. Other things are like secondary. Similarly here, corporate is a legal entity. It has got certain rights, at the same time certain duties. Then you may ask like, why this corporate governance? Previously, there used to be two forms of organization. One is public organization. The other thing is private organization. Here, the owner used to be a single individual or group of people. There, the concepts of having too many owners was different. When the organization was a private organization, the individual, the owner, used to have the rights and also liability. Now here, in that place, we have got one entity, one body, not individual. Corporate is a legal entity that separates it from its owners. Right? Are you getting the point? Previously, in private organization, it is not separating itself from the ownership of the individual who owns. Here, corporate, to make the thing simple, you have to think that as a person, entity, which has got rights and at the same time liabilities or duty to perform. So here the ownership is a different concept, right? You will understand these things better as we proceed. Corporate is a legal entity separate from its owners, can make profit, can be taxed, and can be held liable, can be held liable, legally liable. Means think that it is like an individual who can be taxed, who can make profit. At the same time, an individual can be held responsible to some of the things he does. Here, the responsibility is going to something which is not human. It is going to some entity. This entity is the one which will be sued. If, say, for example, there is a corporate body. If something goes wrong, it is not the owners who will be sued. If something has to be done, it is not the owner. It is the entity, the corporate entity. And here it is legal. What is the meaning of legal? Means it is formed under the provisions of the Act, and it has got a legal status. It is established under an act of parliament, right? Moving forward, let me see. By birth or by registration, okay, throw some answer, okay. Corporations require more extensive record keeping, operational processes, and reporting. If a shareholder leaves the company or sells his or her shares, the corporations can continue doing the business really undisturbed. Right? Is the concept at least to some extent clear to you, conceptualized, right? Okay, okay. Like these are not that lucid, that not they are not that simple as you think. So it needs like repeated reading. When you read the things repeatedly, the things which you are not able to connect once, you will get connects. You will connect the dots while reading. And one of the important things, dear students, while reading, it is scientifically proved that you have to involve your body, your mind, everything. Say, for example, I'm explaining you now. What if I explain like without any gesture or any movement? In fact, to explain effectively, when we use gestures, when we use our body, it will be better. Similarly, it's a very, very important and true technique. When you are reading, you also have to involve your body. Say, for example, you are reading corporate governance. What is this corporate governance? Why this corporate governance? It's a legal entity. What does this mean? You have to involve yourself. You have to, then only the body also cooperates in the process of learning, right? This was a extra piece of information just came to my mind. Okay, moving forward. Corporate governance is the collection of mechanisms, processes, and relations by which corporations are controlled and operated with respect to their rights and responsibilities and how the decisions are made. So here, don't worry about this mechanism, processes, relations. You can write anything. Mechanism, processes, procedures, relations, systems. So you can write anything. Here, these are the important things. Corporate governance includes those things through which corporates are controlled at the same time how they operate, mainly with respect to what are their rights, what are their responsibilities, how a decision making in the corporate has to take place, right? So these are the things which are there in corporate governance. Clear? Corporate governance deals with all those things relating to control and operation of corporation. That is the crisp and the simplest form of definition. Corporate governance is the mechanism, process, system through which corporations are controlled and operated. Corporations means a legal entity. It's like a individual which can be sued and which also has certain rights. Right. So moving forward, participants in corporations. So please do internalize here. Here we have got majorly the shareholders, board of directors, managers, creditors, auditors, and regulators. One important thing, shareholders are the owners, right? For the owners, shareholders are the owners of the corporation. But the decision making thing is done by board of directors. And these decisions are implemented by managers. Creditors are those people who give money or from whom we take money. Auditors are those who audit the things, what are happening with respect to corporate. And regulators are generally the government bodies which regulate the corporate. Right? We have got a message. Who are the part of that board of directors? I will explain. Okay. Right? Here, the important thing is the shareholders. The concept of shareholders is not clear to many students. Shareholders means owners. Say, for example, a corporate has 10,000 shares. Think that I, as an individual, I am having 2 shares. I am the owner of this company to the extent of the share I am holding. Even if I am holding 2, I'll be the owner. Even if I am holding, say, for example, out of 10,000, think that, like hypothetical, I'm owning 9,000. I am also a owner, and this person is also a owner. Let me explain this concept with a general example. Say, for example, some group of our friends, we have come together and we have opened a business. We have opened a business. So for this, money is needed. So think that we take money from the creditor. Think that we have taken 100 rupees. To run the business or like for all the activities, think that some X amount of money is spent. X amount of money is spent to run the institution or organization. After that, think that we have got 200 rupees profit. 200 rupees profit. Like here we are group of friends, right? This organization has got 200 rupees profit. We have invested all these things, like they are there. Other than that, we have taken 10 rupees. For this, we have to give some interest, right? We are giving 10 rupees interest. Out of the profit we get, the first thing or the person who will be getting first is the creditor, isn't it? Afterwards, whatever is left, in this case, say for example, now 90 rupees is left. This 90 rupees will be shared among us, the friends, based on our contribution, our share, or anything like that. So if a corporate gets a profit, first amount has to go to the creditors. Afterwards, whatever the profit is left is divided among ourselves based on our share, right? Is the concept clear? Any doubt here? Any doubt? If you have got any doubt, please let me know. Okay, moving forward. Board of directors. shareholders elect board of directors. So who will be the board of directors? Board of directors will be those people who will be elected by the shareholders, right? Is it clear who elects, who will be present as a director? Whomsoever the shareholders choose will be the director. Here, generally, there will be two kinds of directors. One is inside directors. These people are generally the major shareholders or the founders or the executive. By virtue of they having some shares, they were able to be in the board because shareholders are the people who elect the board. Think that I'm a major shareholder. I'm having some more than 50% of the shares. Definitely, I too have the choice to select the member. Then I may select one person whom I like or some one individual, or I may myself be in the board, right? So other people in the board will be selected based on their expertise, based on their technical know-how. So here you forget about these things. These are not that important. The concept important here is shareholders select the board of members, right? See, you think like how the things are working. Here you like compare this to the private organization where the owner will take all the decision. Everything will be at his mercy. Here it is not the case. Here there is one organization which works based on certain rules and regulations. Right? Shareholder communication. Who will communicate all the decisions? The CEO, Chief Executive Officers commonly communicate with the public at the shareholders meeting and in press conferences. Who will communicate? It is the CEO. You might have seen, say for example, CEO of Google, Pachol. So he comes and he brief the things at shareholders meeting and also at the press conference. But it is the company's responsibility to communicate to shareholders. Getting here, who is having the responsibility? Who has to communicate the information? It is the board, right? It is the chief executive through which the things are communicated, right? Responsibility rests with that. They have given a delegated this job to the chief executive to communicate, right? Moving forward, appointment. Once again here, shareholders appoint board of directors. This board of directors appoint management, right? In reality, this board of directors act as administration. Act as administration. This is management. And the corporate is the organization, right? Remember the things which we have discussed while discussing the topic of administration. Administration, management, and organization. Administration is one which decides the goals, which decides the objectives. At the same time, administration has certain ways through which these goals and objectives should be carried on. This objective should be reached. For that, they use management. Management sees that the goals are reached. For this, we use one machinery, that is organization. Okay, don't get confused. Just come to the slide. Shareholders appoint board of directors. Board of directors appoint managers. Not directly shareholders appointing the management. Then with respect to reporting, management report to the board of directors. Board of directors have the responsibility to report the things to the shareholders. With respect to auditors, they play very, very important role. They are in fact called independent auditors. Shareholders appoint auditors, and auditors share all the information, audited things to the shareholders. This is in relation to auditors. These are pretty simple. Don't go in depth. Like if you have got time, you just go through the things. A lot of literature is available, but what I am saying will suffice to answer the questions. Okay. Next, coming to corporate citizenship. What is corporate citizenship? The idea that corporations have rights and duties, the things which I have already discussed. Like citizenship, here also corporates are having certain rights and duties. So this is known as corporate citizenship. Corporate citizenship means that corporates have certain rights and duties. Corporate social responsibility is a broad concept of corporate citizenship. It's a broad concept, like some even use these two synonymously. Corporate social responsibility is a broader concept of social responsibility. Sorry, corporate citizenship means that it is indicating that corporates do have certain rights and duties. So don't get confused with corporate citizenship and corporate social responsibility. So you can use these terms to a certain extent interchangeably. There's a very thin line of difference. That's it. Corporate social responsibility. This is one of the important things for your examination. What do you understand by corporate social responsibility? Simple. Corporate social. Social means society. Companies' responsibilities towards society. Right? It is the commitment to ethical behavior by creating a balance between the needs of the shareholders, the owners, needs of the community to which they serve, or the where the corporate is present, and the environment in the surrounding area. So corporate social responsibility is the responsibility of the corporate, responsibility of company towards the society, an obligation of the corporate towards the society. It is a commitment to be ethical. It is a commitment to be ethical by balancing the needs, by balancing the wants, needs, and necessities of shareholders and also the community at large and the environment in the surrounding area. So these are the three things. Right. Moving forward, corporate social responsibility, what are the benefits? These are pretty simple and pretty easy, and they are pure common sense. Say, for example, Infosys. Infosys, under its corporate social responsibility, think that a hypothetical example has taken one village where it is developing water facilities, sanitation, schools, etc. So what will happen when corporate does things like this? So here, because of this goodwill gesture, because of this responsive nature of the corporate, there is a goodwill created. The brand value of corporate increases. Say in Karnataka, most of the people have a very good image or goodwill towards Infosys. Why? Because it is taking very important, and in fact, uh, like they are doing awesome work with respect to corporate social responsibility, especially the Narayan Murthy, both Sudha Narayan Murthy and the both couples, right? Corporate social responsibility benefits. Corporate social responsibility activities can forge a strong bond between the employees and the corporation. They can boost the moral and can help both the employees and the employers feel more connected with the world around. So it increases the connectivity between the corporate as an entity and the rest of the world. At the same time, it boosts the brand image. These are simple, these are not exclusive. You have to add more points here, right? If I just if I would have put more points, you would have felt like simply some common sense things he is selling. So that's the reason I have just put some important things here, right? So why corporate responsibility? Why corporate responsibility? The answer is ethics in business. Very important concept. Ethics in business is different from business ethics. Business ethics. Second ARC says that in addition to business ethics, there should be ethics in business. Means the business should be run with the supreme ethical standards, the noble standards. Coming to business ethics, say for example, there is a this is a think there is a group of people. Their business is stealing. Their business is stealing. Don't you think they have their own professional ethics as the stealers? In fact, you will be shocked. There are some communities, in fact, they were wrongly termed as criminal tribes. They, before going to make any crime, they used to perform a puja. They have got certain rituals performing. They have got certain procedures. So this is business ethics. So here in business ethics, what it says is do whatever you want so that the business prosper and the main motive, that is profit, is present. On the other hand, ethics in business says that you have to follow the supreme ethical standards in the business. So very important, crystal clear. I have made the things clear to you. Why we should have corporate social responsibility? We should have corporate social responsibility because it shows ethics in business. And you can add one more line here. According to second ARC, it is very, very important that we have ethics in business along with business ethics. Then one more point here. Why corporate should take this responsibility? Due to new public management, we are living in an era of liberalization, privatization, and globalization. In liberalization, in privatization, and because of globalization, there is rollback of state. We have discussed in new public management, where it says that we don't want more government. Then what do you want? We want more governance. We don't want more government. Then what do you want? We want more governance. They say that governance is an act of collective problem solving. What is governance? Governance is the process of collective problem solving. Very important definition. I have already given one definition according to second ARC, which says that anything which maximizes, anything done towards maximizing citizens' welfare is governance. That is very important and latest definition according to second ARC. So you have to mention. But conceptually, to understand the thing, the second definition is very important. What is governance? Governance is a process of collective problem solving. Or one more word, you can just add, governance is a process of collective decision making, nothing more than this. Governance includes processes, mechanism, things. It includes values. All these things are present, right? So here, because of NPM and because of the incidental LPG, the state is rolling back. Means state is withdrawing itself from the areas where previously it was present. Say, for example, if you go for municipalities, generally previously the employees were the employees of the government. Now, especially the lower cadre, they are contracted out. So here, the place of the state is now filled by the corporate. Here, here the place of the state is now filled by the corporate, now by the private organization. So it has got some responsibility towards the community to which it is serving. I got some message which maximizes people welfare. Yes, okay, right. So why corporate social responsibility? Number one, to have ethics in business. Number two, because of LPG, we have got rollback of the state. Since the state has rolled back, there is a gap created. This gap is filled by the market. So the market or the corporate is now having the responsibility to look into the things with respect to community. So important thing, governance is collective problem solving or collective decision making. Nothing more than that, very precise yet accurate definition. Governance is the process of collective problem solving. Government is the instrument. Government is the instrument we use. So what is government? Government is an instrument. Government is a system. Government is a process. Sorry, not process, is an instrument, system or tool or the means through which we govern ourselves. But this instrument, tool is not working properly. So it is the time to redefine what government is, what government does. That is the principle of NPM. So in this context, you have to explain the things. Then the next question is how? How to have ethics in business? One of the ways is through corporate social responsibility, right? So why corporate social responsibility? To have ethics in business and because of LPG, because of rollback of the state. How ethics in business? One of the best method is through corporate social responsibility, right? Next. So this you can take as conflict of interest in corporate governance or the ethical issues in corporate governance, right? Or to some extent, you can take them ethical dilemmas too. Number one, shareholders and upper management. Shareholders and upper management, conflicting between these two. Second is among the shareholders themselves. Here, shareholders are the principal. Management or any other thing is agent. So, shareholder is the principal and agent is the upper management or any other thing. Principal always is the shareholder. Let us see how this conflict happens. Number one, between upper management, that is agent, and the shareholders. Here, what happens is shareholders want more profit. As we discussed, this profit will be equally distributed among the shareholders. Profit will be equally distributed among the shareholders based on the number of shares they have. Say, for example, if you got 1,000 rupees profit and there are 1,000 shares. So each shareholder will be getting 1 rupee. So shareholders want more profit, but the management want good pay. They want good pay. So if they want more pay, what will happen? The profit will decrease. So the shareholders won't be getting more profit. At the same time, this management to a greater extent sacrifice long-term profit for short-term gain for many reasons. Say, for example, in long-term profit, this cannot be shown. This cannot be shown. If someone asks, like, how you have performed, management has to answer, right? Management, if they say that we are doing some things which have got long-lasting effect, we'll get profits in 2030. Nobody will hear, right? So these are the two things which conflict. So management want good pay. They are not looking into the long-term profit. They are considering the short-term personal benefits what they get. Because of that, there is a conflict. This conflict is known as principal agent conflict. Here the principal is the shareholder. Principal is a shareholder. Shareholder is the owner. And management is just the agent of this principal. That is the shareholder. Sorry. Next, with respect to principal conflict. Here, conflict between the shareholders itself. How? This happens mainly because of big shareholders, individual shareholders lobby the upper management to act in their own individual interest. As you are aware, shareholders are the owners. Big holders, by virtue of having more shares, they influence the management. Directly or indirectly, the management, to some extent, like though they are insulated, will be affected or will be affected by the goodwill of the shareholders, because shareholders appoint board of directors appoint management, think that I'm a big shareholder, I'm having 50% of the shares, so I'll be appointing those people as board of members whom I like. Definitely these people will be appointing managers whom I request or something like that. So they can lobby the management, because management is one which is implementing the decisions taken by the board of directors, right? Any confusion here? It is the simplest form, right? If you have got any doubt, please let me know, right? Are the things clear? Shall we move? Okay. Then next, ethical concerns or bad corporate governance. These are also pretty simple and pure common sense here. What is that? Not selecting appropriate auditors. These play very important role. If something goes wrong, this is the auditors who can show these things, say this is the wrong thing which has happened. In fact, like first setback to Congress government came when CAG, Controller and Auditor General, came up with some findings with respect to Bofors gun case. This was one report that changed the fate of the Congress. In fact, it was like indisputable, and also it was like having monopoly previously, Congress. What happened when Controller and Auditor General who audit the things, he showed that there are some major irregularities in Bofors case. The Janata Party government, in fact, in their election meeting, in their election propaganda, all these things, they used to have a big Bofors gun in their van. This altered the equations for Congress. This was the first step, in fact. So if the auditors are independent, then everything will be fair. Because if something goes wrong, they can pinpoint. They can say where exactly the things have gone wrong, right? So in general, in most of the corporates, they are not properly selected. To be precise, they are not independent. These are not independent auditors. Poorly structured boards. One of the reasons for this poorly structured board is the vested interest of the big shareholders. Big shareholders are the people who will be selecting the board members. Then inside trading, by virtue of being in certain positions, say for example, management or the CEO, they have got access to some crucial information. Based on that, if they make some personal gains, then we can say that it's inside trading. And also, corporate social responsibility is carried out in many cases with vested interest. Say, for example, I belong to certain community, I belong to certain caste, I belong to certain area. So you are having the social responsibility with vested interest. As we have discussed, this is unethical. You may be doing the right thing. You may be doing the right thing, but the intention, the motive behind is wrong. So case studies. Okay, here I'll just brief the case studies. Afterwards, we'll take up some important theories. So, like in fact, I thought of taking case studies in depth side by side. Second session case studies, we'll see. But let us start with a small beginning. How to solve case study? So I'll give you the procedure step by step, like all the things I'll give. But all these things are secondary. The most important thing is the crux has to how to catch the mindset of the examiner. Let us begin with one important thing, which like based on these two things, nearly some 15 case studies are present in your ethics paper. 15 case studies. There are around 60 case studies by UPSC, and very importantly, dear students, please don't solve any case study given by anyone, because these case studies are not designed scientifically. Say, for example, they read something in the newspaper, they made this as a case study and they have put their own questions. So here, the questions may be appealing to you, they may be good, but these questions won't test your attitude and problem solving thing, right? So here you have to internalize one important thing. UPSC case studies are very like standard case studies. First, internalize them. Nearly 50% of the case studies are repeated. I'm very carefully using this word. Nearly 50% of the case studies are repeated. Say, for example, if you take sexual harassment or workplace, 5 case studies are there. See, if you think like there are 60 case studies, you can just think nearly 10% of the case studies are with respect to only one issue. And I will show you like how UPSC has just changed the things, right? Okay. First of all, to begin with, please answer this question. What is UPSC looking? In the first line, the preamble of the syllabus, UPSC clearly mentions few things. This paper will have questions to test dash and dash, fill in the blanks. According to UPSC, in the ethics question paper, they are testing two important things. Yes, attitude. Then what is the next thing? Problem solving ability. Very good. Problem solving ability. along with the approach, right? So you have to show these things. In any question, they are not asking anything like knowledge. When UPSC itself says that we are testing your attitude, then what you have to do? You have to show your attitude. When UPSC itself saying that this question paper tests problem solving ability or problem solving or decision making, you have to solve the problem. If problem is present, this is true with all the questions, right? And the approach, how you are approaching a thing. In certain cases, there will be dilemma, or there will be no correct answer at all. At that time, the approacher plays a very major role. Okay, having said that, let us begin. When someone offers bribe, this is a like case study which has been repeated. Nearly 10 case studies are there on this topic. Say, for example, you are a IAS officer, a big contractor, or your superior offers bribe or asks you to do something unethical. Then what will you do? Think it over. So the mic is open. Anyone can speak out. Or they can message. So what will you do when someone offers bribe? Or what will you do? First, I will deny to take the bribe. Great. Then next, good. Next, or anyone, say for example, your superior, they asked you to do something unethical. Then what you will do? Great. This is the essential first step. Most important, please internalize. This is the crux of solving most of the case studies. Here, if you just say, I won't take, that is not the exact answer. You are just nearly 25 to 30% correct. See, there is something illegal happening, something unethical happening. Then what is the logical step? If someone offers bribe, you should see that this person who is offering bribe is also punished. Your superior asks you to do something unethical. Then what should you do? You have to do certain to see that this person who is forcing to do something which is unethical or illegal is also punished, or at least you should inform this to your immediate superior, right? Is this clear to you? Is this clear? So just if you say I won't take or anything, then here you are not solving the problem is not solved. At the same time, you are showing an attitude that if corruption goes or someone is something like that, you won't take the decision. And here, very important, you have to show your attitude. What does this mean? I will request them not to do the unethical activities, otherwise, I will complain to the higher authorities. Okay? At the same time, not only requesting, you have to take action. It's not about requesting. This may not be the correct answer. See, there is something wrong going on. He has done something wrong. Don't you feel the guilty should be punished? Say, for example, think that a person has killed someone. A person has killed someone. You will go and request, killing is very, very bad. Please don't kill from next time. A person has beaten someone. So that is not the correct answer. Guilty should be punished, right? Next is when you come to know that someone is corrupt, someone is bad, someone is unethical, what you will do? Here there are many cases. Say, for example, one of your superior was involved in domestic violence. So what will do? There's a problem. You have to solve that, right? Attitude. You have to show your attitude. How? How will you show your attitude? How will you show the examiner your attitude? Just go back to the components. Attitude is having three components, right? Affective, behavioral, and cognitive component. You have to show all these things, your feelings towards them, your behavior towards that, your opinion, your thought towards that. All these things you have to write. Is this point clear? So in the examination, you have to do these things, right? Say, for example, when you see someone corrupt, or when you see some of, I will collect all the evidence available and prepare a report. Great. Okay. So when you see someone who is corrupt or anything, first line should be like, say, for example, you see like some of your like classmates or friend is doing something unethical. Show your aptitude. Component of attitude, affect. I'll feel bad. I feel very bad that my friend is doing like this. You have to show the behavior attached to that. You have to tell your opinion. By doing these things, you are showing your attitude. That is what expected in civil services. And in most of the cases, they are asking what are the options available. Here you have to be very, very careful. Very careful in the sense here, while giving the options, especially when you are giving options which are corrupt, say, for example, there may be many options. Think that there is a problem here. There are two people. One is a person who is corrupt, he is a thief, is a murderer, is a criminal. Think that another is a holy man. So if you ask what are the options available, the options available are the options which come to the criminal element is different from the option which come to a person of integrity. In your options also, you should show that you are the man of the integrity. So here, say for example, you shouldn't write corruption leads to happiness. Corruption, by corruption, you'll get a lot of money. Because of money, like your family members will be happy, you will have status. No, you cannot write that. If you write that, it says that you believe in those things. So you can write in a different way. Some people believe, some people believe that by corruption, they will get a lot of money, by that they will be happy. And also you have to mention that that is wrong. It is not possible like that. So when you are giving some option, like extreme options, you should show them that those are the things which are present in your brain. Why? It shows your attitude. See, this is a very, very tricky thing. For every question, you have to think as to how you have to show your attitude and how you will solve the problem, right? The problem should be solved. That is one of the important things. Right? While giving options, give options like an ethical person, not like a corrupt person. When you are giving options which are unethical, you just put a word like generally, many think that, but it is not true. You have to use words like this. So we'll analyze. Sir, it isn't easy to determine if oh, there is a big chart here. 1 minute. Okay. Under Prevention of Corruption Act. Okay. So where did that message go? Okay. Kavita ji has written something. Let me read out. Isn't it easy to determine this if there is in a situation where they have a lot of power and seemingly don't have to face the consequences of their action and then are given a form of temptation, Kavita ji, like I think I am like it is getting little difficult to comprehend. Like you can speak out, the mic is open because we have got both have got limitation. Like you also cannot type much, and also in fact when you are typing you will be losing many important things which I'll be telling. So please do speak. Okay, okay. Moving forward, right. So now take up this case study. This case study is repeated like many times. So please go through this case study just for like I'll give 2 minutes or 1 minute for this. Just go through this. And those of you who could comprehend, please solve this case study. Okay, let me read out. You have grown up with X, who has been your best friend since childhood. You have shared your joys, sorrows, and have been each other's confidant. Both of you are in final year graduation and writing your final exams. In the exam, you notice that your friend is copying and cheating a lot. What would you do and why? Right, go ahead. The mic is open. You can speak out or you can just chat very fast. Let's not waste the time. See, like in fact, I thought of taking the test papers also. Like many are not writing, and that if we discuss once again, it will waste others. And so I thought like first let us complete the whole syllabus once. Definitely we'll have. In fact, you please write and please keep submitting. Once I'll just go through them. Let and also it will be having a positive thing. First, I want to see what you are writing. Let us not disturb your thought process. Afterwards, when I see your 3, 4 copies, definitely I'll just go through whenever I find time. Say, for example, Kavita ji has written very good answers, and many others they have written. Some have written like short notes also. Okay, leaving this apart, but do write and do submit the things. Right? Okay. Anyone? So no answer. What is the answer? Okay. What is the answer here? Sir, I feel really bad that my friend is involved in cheating and malpractice since copying doesn't help X in any way. I would complain faculty for being unethical and this would damage X life in future. Okay, great, madam. Then any other answer? Great answer. Good. See here, madam like has shown her attitude. Like I really feel bad, right? So that affective component, right? Any other answer? Anyone would you like to speak? Okay. So, dear students, like I'll create an assignment for this. This is 2012 UPSC sample question. Please, once again, like first, try to come up with as many options as possible. See, this one very important. Once again, I'm giving a hint. I'm telling a secret. UPSC in 2012 has given 6 questions reflecting the mindset of the question paper and also what is there in UPSC. So here we have got one more answer. Very good. Mm, Suman has written, doing copying in exam is very unethical activity. I will never allow. 1 minute. Let me move the things here. First, I will warn him not to do, even though he continue to do. Then I will complain to the invigilator, though it would seem like bad for him instantly, but it would have. Okay, but someone not good. See, you are not putting yourself in the examination situation. You are giving that first you will give warning. Here, there is something wrong has happened. When you will give warning, means you will forgo the thing which is done doing there. Okay, so this is a very, very important case study. I can right away tell the answer, but I want you to think. You to think like, okay, I was saying in 2012, UPSC has given 6 questions, 3 for theory and 3 for case studies. Most of the case studies revolve around these three. So you internalize the concept, you internalize what they are looking into. See, you internalize this. Along with that, we have got question number 6 and 7 also, which we will be discussing. If you get the crux of the things, 50% of the things are over, right? So I'll give this as a homework. The PDF will be available. Please do write, and I'll create an assignment for this. You can, I'll discuss this tomorrow. But before I discuss, what I want is to think, and come up with the best answer. An answer better than what I can give, right? So to begin with, don't go to any other sources. You have to think. If you just go through the things which are available in the internet, you will just come to know that these are just, these people are just saying just common sense things which are common, nothing more than that they are doing. Okay, okay, right, okay. So sir, I say don't do like that. If you do know the answer, you can write Redmi 9 Prime. No, this is not the way. This is not the way. See, this is the thing. Isn't it a simple case study? See, UPSC case studies is not this simple. This is just 4 lines. Persuasion. Okay, persuasion. Bhumika ji, you are not giving one important thing. Here, this thing is happening in the examination hall. He is already committing something wrong. When will you pursue? You would have pursued in his, when before the exam, right? Okay, but all of you, please do write. This is simple one. The same things are coming. So I'll tell you the truth. If a student is getting 100 marks in ethics, nearly 70 marks they are getting in case study. See, this kind of case study anybody can solve. If you take the theory part, though if you go word by word, if you know everything in theory, you just cannot answer more than 50% from the things which you have read. More than 50% will be new to you. Should I directly inform the invigilator at the first moment? You decide. Write the answer and submit. I will explain this today, tomorrow, because I want you to think. See, I am once again saying nearly 10 questions have this concept, right? Okay. Now, one more question, UPSC question here. So, like, I'll read for you. You are the executive director. I'll give the hints here itself. You are the executive director. Here, very important. In most of the cases, though it is given sometimes, like you are the district level officer, you are the IPS officer. Most of the students are not acting as district level officers. They are not acting as collectors. They are not acting as ACDC. They are acting as clerks, group C, group D level workers. No, you are a district level officer. Say for example, there is another case study where you are a person who is in charge of a program or in a higher authority. One woman is not having necessary documents, so you should act like as a that person, not as a clerk. So I'll go with the woman and I'll see that all your records are. Is it the thing expected from a civil district officer? I'm not saying that this is bad, but he has got many other things to do. Can we take up? Can we select this kind of person who act as clerks to some administration to administer the whole district? Here you have to show the leadership quality. Here you have to delegate the work. That is the best way, right? So this is very important. You should analyze who you are and in which position you are. You are the chief executive director of an upcoming infotech company which is making a name for itself in the market. Mr. A, who is a star performer. See, UPSC in the question number 5 of 2012 sample case study has just this is the replication of this question. Question number 5, 2012 case study. I'll show you that question also. In fact, how they have repeated is they have not even changed the name also. The same Mr. X and Mr. Miss A, who is a star performer, is heading the marketing team. In a short period of 1 year, he has helped in doubling the revenues as well as creating a high brand equity for the company, so much so that you are thinking of promoting him. However, you have been receiving information from many corners about his attitude towards female colleagues, particularly his habit of making loose comments on women. In addition, he regularly sends indecent SMS to all the team members, including female colleagues. You might have come across this kind of people. Just imagine them. Then one day late in the evening, Miss X, who is one of Mr. A's team members. So what is their relation? They are team members. Here, X is not subordinate to A. In fact, they are team members. They are equal. And in fact, these two people are subordinate to you. Comes to you visibly disturbed. She complains against the continued misconduct of Mr. A, who has been making undesirable advances towards her and has even tried to touch her inappropriately in his cabin. She tenders his resignation and leaves your office. What are the options available to you? Evaluate each of these options and choose the option you would adopt giving reasons. So what are the options available to you? The mic is open. You can speak out or message. For the first question, what are the options available? Okay, one message. First step is to warn him. Great. Appointing a committee to look into the matter. Senior citizens from their past knowledge. Great. Then any other answer? Go ahead. I feel bad of choosing as a marketing head and planning for very good. Who has written? I remove all the female subordinates working under Mr. A. Very good. I complain to the higher authority regarding his bad behavior and ensure that he is punished according to the rules of the company. Okay, great. Like who has written this? Meghana ji has written, I think. Okay. Okay. Any other answer? One message. Try to solve the case inside so that the reputation of the company not go down. Okay. First of all, we communicate with the team members smoothly and complain with the higher authorities. Kavita ji. Okay. Here, all of you are making big mistakes. If you write like this, you won't get marks. There is a sequence, there is a method. Very important, right? You are all like the word which I can use is like you are on the fringes. You are not hitting the bullseye. And in fact, like it will be very difficult for you to comprehend. Both of them are given a chance to tell their statement. Okay, great. So okay, first, okay, like I won't solve, but I will give a clue, only one clue, and you have to answer these questions tomorrow, or if at all possible, like I will create an assignment. Don't even submit to me. Just say that I thought and I wrote, so that it will give me an idea as to how I have to continue the things when we meet. See, for example, all of you are telling all those things. See here, you have to answer the things. She has tendered her resignation and leaves your office. See, this you have to answer. This is the main thing. Here, you should not accept the resignation. You should not accept the resignation. And already she has left your office. So what it will be the logical first step? Here, something bad has happened. Something cruel has happened to some person, some individual. That is because of the things which are present in your company. So to begin with, you should not take the resignation or accept the resignation. She has left the office. So by phone or by any other way, you should say that if there is something wrong, please let me know. Please let us know. I'll make the things right. So you have to assure her she has already left. And you can give her a leave of say like 1 week, 10 days, however she wishes. And ask her to give all the details which she has. And also ask her not to tell or inform these things and be quiet as and work as normally as she used to be. And if she gets more evidences, tell her that please give them. That is a necessary basic step. Your answer should go like a flow. Here, they are looking into three things: attitude, your problem solving, along with approach, how you are approaching the things. This is one most important thing. As like most of you have said, most of the students are making this mistake, right? First of all, I will request her to take back her resignation and ensure her to provide justice. Very good. That is the thing, right? First necessary first step is this. Like you can say, like, I'll do all the justice. If you are still not satisfied, you can resign. But till that time, please hold on. That should be the first one. See, nearly 5 case studies revolve around that. I am pretty sure that this kind of case studies will come, right? So hoping that at least you think what is correct and what you will do. Like what I expect here is your case study should answer everything in the case study present. Your case study should go like a flow, one by one, solving one by one. If this is yes, then what next? If no, what next? Like that, you have to go form a flow chart. So when you form this, when your brain start thinking, then only case study is solved. Say, what I say is take as much time as possible, think as many times as possible, come up with more options. Having more options is the trick to solve case studies. Decision making, problem solving, the most important thing is having options. They say that you have got 1,000 options. Then decision making is very easy. Pick one among them. That is the reason. In more than 50% of the questions, UPSC is asking, what are the options available? Right? Hope that you will go through these very important case studies and come back to me tomorrow. So we'll take a short break and we'll reassemble. This is like 8:20 now. We'll 8:21. We'll reassemble by 8:32. Right? When would we you submit tomorrow itself? They are team members, so I can move her to another team. Great, good. That is secondary. First thing you have to in the app itself. I'll create a assignment after the class, so you can submit there. Right? Okay, we'll take a short break for 10 minutes and we'll come back.